Pisces. This is going to be your December 2019 monthly tarot reading. And I'm going to pull a few cards from this tarot deck to get just a general idea of what you might be going through and what you're enduring throughout December as we wrap up 2019. Woohoo! I also want to thank any of you who may have been waiting for my readings last month. Mercury retrograde had a huge toll in my life, I guess I could say, and so many things were changing and so many things were having to be revised and reviewed, and you know, plans were getting thwarted. There was a death in my family. I mean, just everything that could go a different direction did. So I would definitely want to thank all of you for sticking it through with me, as Mercury definitely lands in my sun sign in my birth chart. So I feel it every time it goes retrograde. So moving forward should be good. We should be good. Now we've got the Page of Cups coming up. Oh, nice. Palace of Swords. You also get the Six of Cups and the Hangman. All right. Very awesome, Pisces. Let's see what we have coming up here. Now, with the Page of Cups, you're going to have this feeling of exploring, learning, and really kind of diving into the depths of what emotions and feelings you have, what they mean to you, how you express them, how you interpret other people's feelings and emotions around you, and just really kind of getting into that learning phase. Now, this may be brought on due to a new cycle of something where your emotions have changed. So whenever we have some kind of an emotional change or something in our life that brings us different emotions and heightened emotions, we're going to look at them and explore them and, you know, evaluate and check it out. So this is definitely checking in with your emotions throughout December. Very cool. And that means that something new has really started to culminate for you guys, and you're getting yourself into a place in your mind and in your spiritual awareness, okay? Because when we have the Palace of Swords come up, this is not a traditional tarot card. This right here is a court card that is considered an environment. It's an environment within ourselves. It's something that we could be wishing for. It could be something that we're living in currently, and it can really bring about some different emotions. So with it coming up next to the Page of Cups, what I'm going to interpret this as is there is a lot of new mental energy going on. So new ideas, new communication, some, you know, new exploration seems to be the word that's really sticking out for me during this reading. So within this Palace of Swords, it's all in the air, okay? And when we're in the air feeling, when we're in that, you know, different type of energy, you know, obviously with a Pisces being in an air feeling, it's going to be different. It's going to feel a little different. There's more logic going on. There's more mental capacity. There's more organization. There's more strategy and strategic alignment that's going to happen within the mind and within the way that we speak and communicate and the way we receive. So a lot of communication and mental leveling up, mental, you know, what do I want to say, probing is going to be happening for you, Pisces, in December. And that may also bring about why this Six of Cups is here. Now, the Six of Cups is saying that you may have this need to check in with your inner child. You may be looking back at your past, all the decisions you've made, the feelings you've encountered, because here's all of your feelings and emotions in here. So not only are you studying them here, you're also remembering what you've already been through here. So looking at your own experiences as a comparison to what you might be going through now. And sometimes that's healthy for us, right? To take what we're feeling and experiencing now and kind of throw it against what we've been through to see how we feel about it. And sometimes that can be really healthy. Sometimes that can be really painful. So definitely making sure that you're not allowing your future experience to be dictated by what's happened to you in the past, but definitely recognizing that, you know, some things may match up, some things may contrast, but however, whatever you've been through before is still something of the past, and you know, every decision that you've chosen has really brought you to this moment. So honoring that past, honoring your inner child, honoring maybe some pain that you feel as you go through some of these emotions throughout December. Because really you're going to be getting into a really analytical spot within your mind. And it will start to reflect an environment. You know, once we've been there in the mind, we definitely go there in the physical. So again, with this perception change, with the Hanged Man, that might be because of this mind and this reflection. So a lot of reflection going on and a lot of learning going on, which in turn is going to potentially change your perception, Pisces. You may have a total idea or thought that you held for a long time that is going to be turned upside down. Okay, you're going to be looking at it in a totally new light, in a different way, from somebody else's shoes. You're going to experience something, you know, you're going to really look at something in a different way. Your perception about something's going to change in December. Very cool for you, Pisces. Now let's get an oracle card to get some advice for you for December. And this will give you, you know, just a little bit more information about what you can hold with you throughout December as you go through some of these, you know, deeper mental explorations. That's what I want to say. Mental exploration for sure. Because it's not just of what you want in the future with this palace. It's not what you're experiencing now, but it's also what you have experienced. You know, that really kind of molds what we do as we move forward. But you don't want to keep it there. You want to always be growing and changing. So recognize how much you've grown and changed is really, I think, where that Six of Cups is trying to remind you, like, when you were younger, you didn't have the same views that you do now. So what makes you think that your views aren't going to continually change and adapt and mold to your experiences and the way you feel about things? You know, your feelings are very present here. All right, helpless and hopeless. Awesome card to come out here, because really when we're going through these mental changes, sometimes we have a really hard time trying to determine what the heck we're going through. So this is actually the Eight of Wands coming up. And that in the traditional tarot is a bunch of wands flying through the air really fast. Now in this tarot oracle, it actually depicts it as, you know, this is helpless and hopeless feeling at times, because all of a sudden, right when we're feeling helpless and hopeless, sometimes stuff just starts going real fast and starts shooting through. And this is telling us to have strength. Strength in the things that we feel we're really passionate about. So you have to remember, Pisces, that you do hold passion within all of the things that you do. Now, whether you have this new mental idea coming through and you're reflecting a lot and you're changing your perception, don't let that get you into this funk of helpless and hopeless. Because really the eights are always asking us to have strength. Hold strength. What is it that you believe is coming through for you? You know, how can it possibly come through if you don't believe in it? Feeling helpless and hopeless will just keep us in that spot. So making sure that as you're moving forward and you're really looking into your emotions and the decisions that you've been feeling through, that's going to help you check into that helpless and hopeless, okay? Making sure that you're not getting yourself stuck into that kind of emotion. Now let's get a monthly card here for the full moon, and that'll be coming up on December 12th. Now the reason I'm giving you a full moon card is because throughout Mercury retrograde, I was having to check out my schedule and look at my priorities. I was starting to get, well, am starting to get some paying clients and some other priorities that are surfacing. So I've had to really actually cut back my readings. I was posting 36 free readings per month, but as my time is being more consumed with, you know, booked and private readings, I'm having to cut that back, y'all. So thank you very much for all of the support I've had with this, but I will only probably be posting monthly videos for everybody moving forward, as I've got to honor that business aspect of everything as well that I've started. All right, your commitment is being tested. Well, isn't that the truth, right? Like, that's what I was just saying. But for Pisces, for you, you're going to be tested on what you truly believe in. You know, if you want something and you're going for something, the world's always going to be like, are you sure? And it's going to throw us a little hurdle, and some people do hurdles for a living. However, for some of us, that really throws us off and, really tests us. So when our commitment is being tested, it's the universe asking us, are you sure you really want this? Are you sure? Are you sure you want this? So while you may be feeling helpless and hopeless, here's the world saying, hey, do you really want to get to those mountains? Do you really want to get to that sunshine? Because you can stand where you're at, but you may want to get moving, right? Definitely check out what your commitment is and where you're being tested around that full moon, because that's going to give you a clue of where you can really put your energy and your passion. And that's why there's strength and passion. With this being that wand energy, the Eight of Wands, it's where's your strength and what you're passionate about. Obviously, we make a commitment to our passion throughout our life, and that'll be different for every Pisces out there. But some commitment that you've made might be tested throughout December. So definitely check that out. And that's going to be maybe where you're doing a lot of that reflecting and changing your perception about something. So let's get some clarifying cards and see maybe if we can get a little bit more detail about what that means for you, Pisces. That one wanted to come out right there. All right. Ah, yeah, the Tower. Definitely. King of Swords and Ten of Pentacles. Okay, now let's see what's going on here. Now you've got this Page of Cups where you're really starting to get into what it is you're feeling. Exploring that feeling, right? But you're also having to have this strength. So eight's coming up again over here with the Eight of Pentacles, and then you have this Eight of Wands. So you have Eight of Pentacles saying, hey, what's the strength in your stability? How hard are you really working for this? How hard do you want this? This is showing you putting your head down, nose to the grindstone, really working for what you want, because you know that some hard work is going to really build that legacy. People are going to really notice what you want. Right before the eight, you've made a decision to do something. It's a commitment. This is the commitment. This is you completing, doing, and participating in the commitment. So exploring your feelings about your commitment is something that's being brought up right here. And whenever we get an 8, it's asking us about our strength. What is your strength around something that you really want to be stable? And exploring your feelings around that, because you have that Page of Cups. So definitely make sure you're checking out what it is you're committed to. Is this making you feel helpless and hopeless? Most likely not, because when we get the Eight of Wands, it's like our passion rushing in. It's not saying you're feeling helpless and hopeless, or you're going to feel helpless and hopeless. It's saying, like, you're here, you don't want to be feeling helpless and hopeless. You're going towards something else, and something's going to come in really passionate. Passion does not mix with helpless and hopeless, right? So it's kind of one of those cards that makes you go, huh? But it's definitely never been a negative thing when the Eight of Wands comes up. Now you also have this Palace of Swords. This is that mental space, that inner place, the place where your mind is becoming more articulated, and that may have come about because of a Tower moment. So something may have collapsed in the way that you're thinking, the way that you're doing things, something that you were really holding on to no longer fits what you need. So whenever the Tower collapses, it's because we've changed and we can't live there anymore. Like, our energy doesn't fit here anymore because we're different. And it's almost like this Palace of Swords is your new vision of where you're moving. You know, this is where your mind is headed, into something that is a little bit more intricate, a little bit more organized, you know, and definitely not something that a Pisces thinks about is being organized and detailed. You know, Pisces are very creative, and so this air energy entering into your environmental space is very interesting for you, Pisces. Definitely let me know how that works out, and if that's something you're experiencing, if you feel like you're having that shift towards some kind of mental clarity and more logic is happening in that. It's like you've had this tower moment in your mental space where something's collapsed, something you believed in, and now it's just becoming this more intricate, actually a better foundation, you know, because this place looks a lot better than that place, not gonna lie. Now, the Six of Cups here coming up with that nostalgia and the King of Swords is definitely saying that you have some sort of truth. As you go through this nostalgic moment and you're reflecting on your past decisions, things you've felt, the emotions you've had, and all the things up to this point, you recognize that there is some sort of truth that you hold. And you recognize that there is cycles and things you've gone through and all the milestones and how much you've grown and how much you've healed and how far you've actually made it. You know, you've made it through 100% of your bad days and good days. You know, the King of Swords is very intellectual in the way that he looks at what's going on in his kingdom. You know, he's very mindful. He is very clear about what he's saying, what he's thinking. It's all that logic. And that really goes along with this energy right here, because the air energy is the sword energy. You know, see, we have Palace of Swords, and then you have King of Swords. And so it's like you're really entering into this heavy mental space, Pisces, during December. And you're taking the information that you gather from this reflection and really moving forward with your truth and guiding yourself as you move forward throughout December and into a new year. It's like you're moving forward with this huge new truth, and it's no crap, you know, it's like no BS. You know your truth, and you have all of these experiences to prove it. Prove your truth and what you hold, and it's changing the mental environment that you hold and how you work on things. Very interesting. I love it, because your commitment will be tested, and that's because you have some kind of a perception change with your legacy. What you believe to be incredibly stable is really wrapping up, okay? You're starting a new stability. And with this Ten of Coins coming up here, like that's the final chapter of stability. So you've learned a lot, Pisces, up to this point. Up to this point of December, you have learned so much about what it takes to be stable, what it takes to create a foundation, how to really double something or make more of something, how to tap into your resources and utilize that kind of stuff, really getting into that physical realm. So as you have a mental shift, it's almost like you're also simultaneously wrapping up this knowledge and this experience that has to do with your stability and moving into the next phase. Because whenever we get a 10, that's like the gift on the way out. You recognize it at the 9, but the 10 is saying, well, that's done. Here we go into the next one. You know, you get into that next cycle. Now you start back at a 1. So the perception shift is definitely going to bring about that realization of something in your stability. And that might be where your commitment is tested. Sometimes when we are tested, we get to level up, right? If you pass the test, you get to go to the next level to be tested again. You know, and that's like this. This is the end. You're going to be tested here. And that perception shift is going to be what gets you through that test and helps you move forward into that next level. You know, remaining in a helpless and hopeless realm is not going to let you move forward to the next level. So keep that in mind as you go through December, dear Pisces, and you'll be just fine. So I will be posting some cool little tidbit things for the end of the year that will reflect 2020 for each sign, so keep an eye out for that. Also, please sign up for that free tarot card deck giveaway that I'm doing. I'll post a little video like right here in a few seconds. So if you want to click on that, share it. I still need like 100 entries, so please, please, please sign up so I can give this thing away before the end of the year, preferably. My goodness. And then also thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. It definitely helps. I love doing this, and I'm really excited to start 2020 with y'all. So we'll see you then. Thanks again.